All right, everybody. Hi, I'm Alex, and my dog's name is Terry.
Hi, I'm Mark, and my dog's name is Noodle.
And this is home.
Is where my dog is.
Yeah, where my dog is, where your dog is, wherever anyone's dog is. And today, today's a big day for us. A big 1-0. We made it to 10 episodes.
10 episodes. Oh my god,
man!
Like a big boy.
Some dogs don't make it to 10, man.
Sometimes we only make it to like 3 or 4. Yeah, we've got plenty of clients that sometimes make it to like 4 or 5. And you're like, y'all are just a bunch of quitters. And so if you don't know, so Alex and I, we own a podcast studio here in Los Angeles.
We do things and stuff.
And sometimes we experiment with our own content. And so this is one of those experiments where we were like, hey, we're talking about getting dogs.
I get a dog.
He got a dog, and then
he gets a dog.
I pushed the issue with my wife because I didn't think she would actually agree to it because she said no for 14 years.
She did.
And then finally she sent me a dog, and I went without her to go meet him. And then I brought back photos, and she was like, okay, I guess I'll go take a look. And then boom, dog.
I always knew I was going to get a dog again. I just didn't know when. Met Mel, talked for a long time about animals and stuff. Got a dog together. Greatest story ever. Check it out. Episode 1. But there's, I'll never forget that day. And as we do this episode, as we do the show, I always remember just something else. And that's just how these things go.
Mm-hmm.
But today's topic is kind of interesting. It's like, where are we at? Where have we been? The episodes don't drop regularly. We do way more stuff in between.
So I just hit 6 months about 8 days ago.
No way.
So I hit 6 months with him. So I got the email from the adoption agency. They were like, hey, how's it going? And I totally ghosted them for 3 days. And I was like, oh God, I bet you. They're like, oh, he fucking gave the dog back somewhere else again. Like he's left the state. He's turned him into a coat.
Noodle ran away. Imagine. Oh, how sad. That's so funny. The LA County made me give them a review immediately after we didn't get to take him home. If you remember all that.
So you're at you would have just crossed 8 months, right?
Yeah, we're getting close to.
What date?
I'm going to get in trouble, but I know it was September.
How do you not know the date?
No, remember, we got him, and then we didn't get to take him home for another 2 weeks.
What was the take-home date? Oh, I know for a fact it was a Thursday.
It had to have been August 4th.
I know it was a Thursday for you.
How do you know it was a Thursday?
Because you were like, hey, I can't do that show on Thursday because that's when we're picking up the dog.
That's true. It had to be August then.
I know this better than you. You better figure it out.
Yeah, I know. It was definitely August we had Terry.
Noodle, can you stop licking the camera cables?
But he is so ingrained into my day-to-day. There's not a day now I cannot plan without Terry being involved in those plans.
I'm going to get stabbed at night because this dog and what his day consists of, I feel like I'm his assistant.
I do feel pushed around by Terry sometimes, yes.
And so it'll be like, oh, well, I've got to go down to San Diego today, or I've got to go do this. What is he going to do? Okay, I need to make sure I'm back here by this time, so that way he's only been at home for 4 hours without me, so he can be let out. Oh, I need to hire someone to walk him, or oh, can someone take care of this? That is my job.
Yeah.
My wife is able to be like, he's got this. I'll come home. Dog will be great. I'll get cuddles.
I think we trade off.
Oh.
I think we trade off. I think Mel and I trade off.
What are you shopping for, bud?
He's looking for the Fritos.
Noodle. Hey. Noodle butt. You got to back it up, Terry.
Oh my God.
Beep.
Are you coming on the couch?
You coming up, Noodle? No, we're not shopping. So we're at that 6 month mark. I'm with you. This dog is totally ingrained in my life.
Yeah. So I think the point, we were talking about different
You can
ways that
give it
the
to him.
episode would go. And I think, yeah, where are you right now? What are the big changes in the last 6 months?
The biggest change is that I lost 15 pounds from getting a husky.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Because I do 8 miles a day with him now.
Yeah.
Like without fail. 8 miles, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how to put it into words. I thought I was going to love this dog. And I know that and God, the parents don't at me. Like, I just don't want to hear it. I don't care. I know it's not the same. But when you hear parents who are like, you're not prepared for the first time you hold your child when it's born, and you're like, oh, the love is just a whole different kind of love. I was like, I thought I was going to love this dog this much.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that it was going to be that much.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I am in love with this dog.
No, I'm with you. I love Noodle too, man. Not as much as Terry, but yeah, it is a game changer. I'm not saying I've lost weight. I've definitely gotten healthier, and I've definitely lost weight. That's an easy. But I also like to walk Terry, a good amount of times throughout the day.
Yep.
There are mornings where I'm like, oh, I could do without this walk, and Mel will tag in. Or there are evenings where I'm like, man, Terry, we got to do this last minute walk before bedtime. But I know it's going to put him to bed. Sometimes I could do without it. So I will say, in the 8 months of walking a dog, one less walk I feel like isn't too much to ask.
Oh man, I had one the other night where like I said, my wife will go to bed at like 10:30 or 11.
Yeah.
And my wife will be like, hey, will you come tuck me in? So I'll lay next to her in bed. And there's been a few times where I'm like about to fall asleep, and I'm like, no, I still got the lights are all on, the dishes need to get done.
Yeah.
Like, I need to walk this dog. Like, he needs to go on his last walk so he can take a shit.
Yeah.
And oh man, I was like hardcore into REM sleep because I let myself slip last week. And that was the roughest, drunk,
Yeah.
getting at myself out of bed, throwing some clothes on to be like, okay, it's cold, but I gotta get out there, and you come here, get a leash on you. And,
Yeah.
And I don't live in a flat neighborhood. I live on an extreme hill.
Yeah.
So there's no sleepwalking up this hill.
Yeah, you're exerting yourself as soon as you wake up. That's funny. I definitely do the stretch before I walk though, because I'm worried that he's gonna take off on me one day. But that's a whole other thing.
Do you not have a leash?
I do.
How's he gonna take off on you?
You
just lift him up.
It's just a worry that I
You have like a 10-pound dog.
It's just a worry that I have. I'm worried that a car will hit my dog every day.
Yeah, well,
it's just a worry that I have now.
So
8 months into a relationship.
Do
with
you
my dog,
have a light up collar?
I do not, but I have been looking at them.
So I have the whole disco LED raver ring for him that he wears at night, because if viewers haven't seen him, he's jet black. And he's like a great white. So he's jet black up top, and he's got white belly and white legs. But at night, walking behind him on the dark streets we have right around the studio, you can't see him at night.
Yeah, I bet.
And I'm like, of course, I'm probably wearing black shorts and a black t-shirt. And I'm like, oh, they can't see me either. So luckily, there's a little blue ring that's dancing across the street.
Got to put a blue ring on you too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, now what I do is I'm that jerk that actually I take my phone, put the light on.
Stop.
And I stick it in the pocket of my shirt. So I'm walking around with it. So A, I can bring down, pick up poop and not miss. And then B, people know, oh, there's a flashlight roaming around this street without street lights.
Smart.
And the blue ring dancing around.
Got it. So in 6 months, you've learned how to walk safely in your neighborhood. And in 6 months,
I also say I
times.
thought I would have problems with being ew, dog poop, but love dog poop.
You know what's funny? You brought it up a while ago. I now no longer love the smell of lavender.
Right?
It's
Like
kind of
the
ruined.
lavender bags I
It's just
thought were a good
powdery,
idea, but now I think of that smell and I
explosive.
correlate it and associate it with poop.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, of
I'm waiting to lose the love of peanut butter.
oh man, I'm already out of it. Love with peanut butter. I feel bad. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of good things though. There are a lot of good and fun things that have changed in my life positively as well for having a dog. And there are things that I know that like I need now. I need to have Terry in a certain position when I come home and stuff. And like a big one is his little huffing he does right before he wants to go to bed. Like he'll like huff and like throw a temper tantrum on the top stoop of the stairs, and he's like, it's bedtime, we need to go to bed, the bed is upstairs, you guys are still down here, let's move.
Oh, that's funny.
And so he'll just sit there staring at you in the corner, and sometimes he'll get up on the step behind the wall because we have a staircase that leads into our bedroom. He'll get up on the last step of the bottom and he'll look around the corner like, it's time. And so like I think if I didn't have a dog, I would never go to bed now.
I do go. So I normally used to go to bed at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I go to bed now at 12:30 because I'm like, I have to get up at 7 now.
Yeah.
To walk this dog, because if I'm walking this dog at 8:30, there's a million other dogs. And I'll tell you what, there's nothing worse than a Hollywood dog owner, because they're like, I can't believe you're walking on the same side of the street as me.
No.
You saw us here, and this side of the street belongs to us.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of weird protectiveness, or like a lot of like, okay, you see that my dog wants to play. You heard me say, oh, do you want to play? And then you see me trying to make eye contact with you, but you still ignore me all the way through. Like that kind of messes with me a little bit. And so it just makes me not want to hang out with other dog owners.
I get a little upset sometimes because like we still don't know his socialization. Like I've never seen him play bow. So I'm like wondering, does he not know the secret rules to dog?
Oh man, does he not know how to dog? Yeah.
And so like there's a girl who was like walking up the hill the other morning, and she had a golden doodle, and the dog was off the leash, and her dog just started making a beeline for us.
Ugh.
And she's like, is he friendly? And I was like, it doesn't really matter now.
Your dog's
does
on
it?
its way. Yeah. Jet line. Just yeah.
And luckily that dog smelled my dog smelled his dog, and my dog was just like, meh, I don't like golden doodles either.
Yeah. I get it. But it is top tier Terry moves that he does for me. His little huff before bed.
My dog, when it comes to bedtime, like he will be in like a light snooze, and then he knows he's got to go out one more time. When we get home, like he is ready to get it home, and he will run into his bed, and he will like put his head down in bed, and I will shut off the lights. And if I'm watching TV, he will get out of his bed so he can turn his back to the TV, so it's not in his view.
Nice.
And then when I turn the TV off, he'll go back to bed.
Nice.
And I'm like, at least I watch TV with headphones at night, so he doesn't have to hear like the song, the X-Men 97 theme song, he's like, fuck you, Dad.
Yeah. Man, well, dogs just don't understand nostalgia these days. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So you had an idea for a 10th episode in 6 months. What are 5 things that are like unique to your dog that you were like absolutely love?
Yeah, the big one, of course, getting me to bed. That's a big one for me.
Okay.
The huffs, the attitude he gives me, like all of that. I realize I didn't have in my life before, obviously, and so I kind of need it now. I need that person being like, "Hey, it's bedtime," and I have it now in a dog. My dog is like, "Hey, man, it's bedtime. We got to go to bed."
So my first one is, there's a girl who lives below, and she got a dog during the pandemic, and our building would not allow dogs at all. She got a dog and hid it for 2 years.
Jeez.
Now, our manager is just like a bitch lady. What are you going to do? You're not the manager anymore. And she found out too late because she lived on the other side of the building. Like people were complaining, but she wasn't going to do anything about it. It got to the point where she was like, we're going to have to evict you and your dog. And she's like, I'll sue. And they were like, oh, okay. So they allowed other dogs.
Oh, man.
So now she's one of those people where you're like, I know she neglects the hell out of her dog because her dog should be white, but is totally yellow and brown. And the hair's all matted and it's patchy. And it's just like the cry lines just go all around the face. And you're like, I know you neglect this dog, but this dog gets triggered so much.
Yeah.
So much. It barks and you can hear her just go, Sonny, stop it. Sonny, don't. When we come home at night, we go up that upper entrance.
Yeah.
And I will take him off the leash and he knows exactly where to go. So he's got to run all the way around the building.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes off. He is like, it is 11:30 and he's like galloping. Yeah. And then Tokyo drifts around the corner. Just it always sets off her dog. And it's always, and I always walk him at 11:30 at night.
Oh my God.
And I can hear, God damn it, Sonny, shut up.
You're just disrupting the whole neighborhood now.
Oh, I love it so much. I'm such a troll. I love that my dog triggers the shit out of her dog.
Jeez Louise, what a toxic trait of yours.
It's so toxic of mine, but I love it. This dog triggers so many other dogs. Like any pug, any like one of those little like ones that look like a sponge.
Yeah, sure.
Triggers the hell out of them. So that's my first one. What's your second one?
That's funny though. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with that, Mark. Like honestly, Noodle having a toxic owner, he's gonna pick up on all those traits, man. Okay, so Terry does this thing where we have hundreds of toys. Okay. Hundreds of toys. And like, if anything, I could do without buying as many toys as we have. But one of my favorite things that he does, and I don't understand it, and I'm hoping that someone watching, listening will help me out, is that he'll get the remaining part of his rawhide or whatever bone that he's playing with. He'll chew it down to the last thinnest sheet possible that's left. About yay big too. And he will just go ape shit. I mean, he'll flip the thing around, he'll chase it, he'll roll with it, he'll run around, he'll jump up and down off the bed, you grab it from him, and he'll just try to take it back. And it's just this like endless amount of energy he has for a piece of bone. And that's the joy that I want in my life. I want to have so much fun with a scrap piece of bone and 30 fucking toys sitting behind me in a corner. And then like him and I connect and we'll play and we have a good time, and I'll like, I'll tire him out, and then he's like, oh yeah, I'm tired. I'm ready I'm like, I'm okay. We had fun with my piece of bone, Dad. So the joy he finds in this little piece of scrap bone, it makes me so happy.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
The next one I like that I love is like waking up in the morning is the best thing. So like I used to like roll out of bed and like go to the bathroom, whatever. My wife used to do the same thing. We would do our own thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But now it's like when you roll over and like her eyes are open or my eyes are open, and she's like, okay, are we ready? And we go, okay. So we will go out there and we come around the corner and you could see the tail going, and he's in his bed and he's looking at us and he's like, oh my God, I'm going to get belly rubs. Yeah. It's going to be awesome. And then like he does the thing where like you scratch him in the chest and you get the snoot, and he's like, nom, 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 in the morning, like a fat kid looking at just cake,
devouring every pet scratch.
And he needs like 5 to 10 minutes every morning of just like cuddles.
I love that.
And he's gonna roll over, he's gonna give you his belly, and he's like, I need you to scratch. And he'll do this a lot, like, oh, you're scratching my belly. No, get my face.
Yeah,
get my face. Like I want the behind the jaw, and I want this, and I really want the neck. And just every morning, feels like
I
Christmas.
love that.
Because you walk around the corner trying to see if there's presents under the tree, and I'm like, I have a waggly tail.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so cute. That's so funny.
that can't live without.
Yeah. This one's an easy one for me. Like, I was trying to figure out where to put it on my list too, but Terry's wardrobe. Like, dude, I've got you know what I mean? Like, I've got matching sets of clothes now. Now I'm like, oh, well, we're gonna be out Sunday, you know, color coordination. Like, my dog is, I live through him with fashion. And like,
How come you don't have matching beanies?
no, see, that's the thing. It's already done. It's just a matter of like, when do we unveil that to the world? I don't know if the world's ready for Terry and I to have matching beanies.
Oh man.
You know, I've made him, there's like these little things I want to make him with beanies and like have him wear it and stuff. Like, I love my dog and all his little fashion choices. My favorite outfit though has to be this like doggy tracksuit he has that matches my tracksuit. So just saying, catch us in these streets.
Nice. My next one is, and I know it's typical of Huskies, but he makes the funniest fucking faces.
Yeah.
Like, I know you've seen some of the photos. He's got like 6 followers, but if you check out Chicken Noodle Floof, you'll see some of the faces he makes, like where he passes out with his tongue out.
Yeah.
And then his face gets smushed and he's always looking surprised. And he makes all of these faces. And also, like, I want to hear from you guys. He does the husky and like German Shepherd grumbles.
Mm.
So if I go kiss him, he kind of gives me the and he does that all the time.
Yeah.
And I love the grumbles because I'll be like, gentlemen, start your engines, and kiss him on the forehead. And he's like,
that's pretty funny.
And there's nothing hostile about them.
Yeah.
Like, he might be like, hey, this is annoying, but like, he'll always just like press his head harder into me.
Yeah.
But it's like the grumbles are so endearing, and sometimes the grumbles are like,
I love it.
yeah. I love the grumbles,
Man.
and the faces.
Yeah, I think my wife's relationship with our dog is huge for me as well, because you know, we got a dog at an interesting time, and then like, you know, you never really know how people are gonna be. You know what I mean? You have an idea of how like you're gonna react in a situation. Like, for example, picking up your first poop. You went into it like, I don't really want to do this, and then like you kind of just like, it's part of the routine.
Got to catch it all.
Yeah, and then now it's part of the routine, and now you feel bad when you don't pick it up.
Poopy man, gotta catch it all.
But yeah, just like, I just love seeing how happy she is with my dog, with our dog. Like, that's a big one for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see where I'm at. Oh, my dog's. So this would be my 4th one. So my dog's Karenism.
Oh, give it to me.
So he's not a vocal boy.
Okay.
So he's not the husky screamer. He gives us woos. He gives us like, we have to feed him in halves.
Mm-hmm.
So if I feed him the first half and I wait longer than 5 minutes, he will start to be like,
Yeah.
and I mentioned it earlier in an episode, like, my wife will be at home. I'll come to the studio. She's got the dog at home. Like, he hears the 2 doors open. Like, he comes in and he gives me a, where have you been?
Yeah.
Like, we've been waiting.
Yeah.
Like, we were all supposed to hang out together.
Yeah.
And he will give me, that's the only vocal.
That's pretty funny.
Like, have you really heard him be vocal?
No, never. I mean, except when you like leave the room, but even then, that's not a whole lot.
Yeah. But like, that's his vocal, is when I come back after having been to the studio for a while, and he just,
Yeah.
like, I told you.
That's so funny.
And then the last piece is like, so my dog has his facial pattern. He kind of looks like a juggalo.
Yeah.
And so
I can't unsee it now.
You can't unsee it.
Yeah.
And so he's got the blue eye and he's got the brown eye. Now, his facial markings look like he's got eye patches.
Yeah.
So the brown eye with that pattern looks like he has the eye patch. So he kind of looks like a Bond villain.
I'm worried.
He loves being on the balcony. He's got that little lifted bed, and he will always just stare down. And I'll be on the phone with you or a client or something, and I'm walking up the hill and he hears me. He literally just stares me up the hill until I enter the house. And then that's when he gives me the talking to. But like the attitude and the scowl of like the audacity.
Yeah.
You are not with me right now.
That's pretty funny.
Can you not tell that I'm upset?
Yeah.
The Karenism.
It's so funny. I don't, Terry doesn't really have that. But the one thing like I think that my life, I'm very grateful for, is the passenger car rides with Terry. This dog loves car rides, man. You roll that window down just enough. He is just like full body out there trying to taste every inch of air, trying to taste every inch of wind. And I think without that, you know, like without having that moment, you know, I don't know anything else that could replace that. He's just, and then he gets so tired. He's like, after a 15-minute car ride, my dog is tired.
That's because he's sniffing.
Oh,
so he's using the brain. And he's going crazy.
So it's just a fun little moment with him. It takes 15 minutes. I sit in traffic for longer than 15 minutes. So for me, I'm like, what an enjoyable time. Yeah. But those are like my top. My life is a lot better now because
You're
of
5?
having a dog. Yeah.
My last 5, and I've touched on it a little bit on like his vocalism.
Yeah.
His vocalism is the reason we have this dog.
Yeah.
Because
the conversations.
Like if we had a super vocal dog, he wouldn't be able to be here at studio. He'd have to be at the home more often, and I don't want him to be alone. So like he comes here in studio, and he like when he's like, hey, action, like he will pass out next to me or pass out at the feet of the guests. He will be in the room with them.
Yeah.
And just not say a peep for an entire hour or longer. And then as soon as like I'm done recording, I'm like, clear. He goes, all right, I need to go out for a little minute. Yeah. And then let's roll it back.
Run it back. Next client.
Yeah. He's so not a screamer, not a barker, not a nothing. Like he is just not vocal at the right times.
That's so funny.
And it's like, I don't know how I ever would have trained that. And I understand it was probably because someone beat the living daylights out of him. But like, he is the perfect studio doge.
Yeah, he is. Except when he has his accidents.
What was the last accident?
I don't know. Terry hasn't had an accident in the studio yet, though.
Well, he's peed in the big blue room.
Just saying.
He's definitely done that a few times.
My dog's better, but you know.
Oh no!
In terms of peas.
Yeah. Oh, your dog is totally better on that. Yeah, my dog's probably peed like 3 times in studio in 6 months. 2 of them were in the first like 2 weeks.
That's true. First, yeah.
And the last one was just because he was like, "I'm ready to go. I'm just gonna pee right here and teach you a lesson." I'm like, okay.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, man, dogs make your life better. That's really the kind of like summary. You know,
oh, my dog, like my life is so much better. And I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, I am just so much happier in life, and I'm busier than I've ever been, but I'm so much happier that like I get to come home to a dog, and I get to take him to work, like going on long walks and be able to just clear my head.
Yeah.
I'm so mad I didn't do this earlier, but I wouldn't have had this dog.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
All right, everybody. So this has been another episode of Home is Where My Dog Is. And please like and subscribe and hit the little bell. Get a notification from us.
How long?
Give us 5 stars.
How long have you had your dog? That's a good one.
Yeah. How many dogs have you had? How long have you had your dog? Give us one thing that your dog does that you feel is like unique or you can't live without.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
Bye, guys.
Bye.